Hello! We wanted to give you a little bit of a real life update. We were super excited by some of the comments last week on our Jeep video that folks want to see more because we have a lot more Jeep projects already filmed. The problem that we're running into is that when we were in our apartment still, I actually had everything set up. I have a lot of cloud storage, so I had all my stuff set up to like basically store in the cloud. Even GoPro, doesn't matter what camera I was using, I would offload everything from my memory card and then put it on my computer, and then it would upload itself into the cloud and free up the space on my hard drive. Well, now that we're mobile and we're using mobile internet, we do have truly unlimited internet. We've used about over 400 gigabytes this month, I think, but it's not fast enough to download like a 30 or 40 gigabyte file, multiple of them. So I was having a trouble with half of the Jeep stuff that we've recorded is in the cloud and half of it I have on memory cards. So I'm still having some trouble, and I need to probably go find some good Wi-Fi and just download those files once and for all. But this week I've kind of fought with my computer. I've downloaded some things, and then before I could move the file, so like maybe I set something to download in the middle of the night, before I can move the file, it's re-uploaded itself to the cloud. So this week, instead of more Jeep videos, we have been filming this project we've been doing inside all weekend. So that's what you're going to get today. And hopefully by next week we'll have the next part of the Jeep series where we put in the brake buddy and we do the tow bar installation. So fingers crossed that my computer and data plays nice with me and we can get that to you next week. Like most Saturdays, whether we mean to or not, today is a project day. So Josh is outside working on staining my desk. So it drove him crazy that the other one was cupped. So he bought another one and has, it actually worked out really nicely because it was a little bit bigger than the one he had made. So it gave me a little more space, and I used it for this past week just to kind of see before he cut it and stained it. So he's out there staining it right now, and then he went ahead and picked up another. So these are like the pre-glued tabletops that you can get at Lowe's. And we are also going to turn one of them into a dining table. So we're going to take out the table in front of the TV, and we're going to put in some more of the little things on the floor in front of the couch so that you can have a removable dinner table. So pretty excited about that, and they're gonna match. And that's what he's been working on outside today. This thing that's been driving us a little bit nuts for the last 2 weeks, I guess, is that we use this cabinet to store our coffee maker, and Josh likes tea, so he has a teapot. The coffee maker has basically just ended up living on the countertop, but they can't both sit out, but there's not enough room for the coffee maker and the teapot to sit out. So he has been a little frustrated because he's having to dig through this cabinet where we also keep some coffee and our sweetener and that sort of stuff to get to his teapot. So I had suggested, they're not taking up, it's like 18 inches tall total, but the teapot's like 11 inches and the coffee pot's 10 inches. So I said, let's make a shelf to go in it. So we had a little bit of leftover wood from when we made the pantry shelves, and so we actually didn't have enough to make the full shape, but we could make a rectangular piece to go in there. So what I'm about to do is actually just secure that in place. So that's why I dug out the camera and the tripod. So these are also pieces left over from when I did the pantry. So I had 2 full-size pieces left, and I just had Josh cut them in half. not very elegantly because our little teeny tiny handsaw has no teeth left. So he had the regular saw out, so he just did it with the regular saw blade, which kind of mangled them a little bit, but it's okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna put those in, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe eventually we'll paint or stain this, but I just want to make sure it works first. I forgot to account for the width of the shelf brackets, so I'll be back. Okay, so here we go, finished product. Sorry, it's kind of dark. Coffee and filters up top. Josh's tea kettle fits in the bottom, and he can pull it out easily anytime. Yay! Like I mentioned, Josh was not happy with the desk that he had made for me, so we bought a pre-glued tabletop from Lowe's, and Josh spent most of Friday and Saturday working on this. He stained it for me and routed out the corners and made it really nice, and yeah, so this is just us installing it, and then we did make a little extra table leg that actually sits in the cup holder on the console just to give it a little more stability. And then yeah, you can see I'm gonna put all my desk stuff back on here. Fun little time lapse. What are we doing?
So last night we started to install the mounting post for the table. We did a test drill into the hole after we'd marked out where we wanted everything. And it looked like there was about ½ an inch of plywood and then 2 inches of styrofoam and then eventually the metal subfloor into there. So after we did our test drill, I took my router and we kind of routed it out kind of a test hole to see how everything was going to go. It was super loud, so after getting about halfway through with that, we decided to call it quits for the night and pick up in the morning.
Yeah, it was about 10:30 at night, and I was trying really hard not to make our neighbors mad.
Yeah, it was real loud. So what we did is we drew a little bit bigger hole to give us room to align everything and make sure that there was enough room for the entire fitting to go in.
Yeah, so if this was a perfect circle, it might have worked. there's like a little bit of a flat side here, so this doesn't quite go in. So yeah. So we had a little bit more to do to get these into the floor.
So yeah, I was really anticipating running into an issue, but we haven't really noticed anything yet.
You don't say that stuff till we're done with the project. Knock on wood.
So we're going to make these holes a little bit bigger and then slide these mounts in and screw them down. They should be good.
And the AC is going to be on because it's 82 degrees outside right now.
Hopefully it's not too loud.
It's not going to be louder than that thing.
No.
Alright, let's get started.
Alright, so as you can see, there's about a ½ inch of plywood here and then about 2 inches of styrofoam, and then you can kind of see down in here that there's a metal bottom. So all I did was I took my router and I did just far enough to get past the plywood, and then I took just a pretty big size drill bit and did around the exterior just to break up the styrofoam so I could pull it out. Perfect fit. Yep. Yeah, so I think we should put the table in, and then that'll make sure that the holes are perfectly aligned, and then we can screw them down and put the table in. Okay.
Yep.
That works.
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a nice finish.
And so what I was thinking was when we have 4 dining chairs. So I was thinking you could put 2 on the ends and 2 here, and you can actually sit 6 people.
Yeah.
So, be cool for playing cards or
Yeah.
eating.
It's
I mean, I think it's enough. It's not really enough room for 6 people to eat.
Yeah.
But for playing cards and board games, that'd be great. Now that we have an alternative dining table option, this has got to go. We use it all the time, to be honest, but it's awkward and it's in the middle of everything. And when the slides are in, so on travel days, it is just in the way. You have about this much room to walk because this comes almost to the sofa. So, yeah, time for this to go, and this is now going to be an entertainment center and not a dinette. I'm excited. It's hard to tell from this angle, but we had to take out our sound bar, and then we took out the table itself, and then we had to actually remove the fireplace that we installed back in the fall because it was in front of the metal support for the table. So once we got that out, we realized that we actually had to take off the trim from the front of the cabinet as well, which is what the fireplace support was drilled into. So Josh had to take the entire support apart and then take the front facing off the cabinet, that trim piece, just to get the old table assembly out. once we had everything out, he had to get to work putting it all back together, just without the table this time. Okay, so that big hole right there is where the table used to be. That sound bar has actually been back there the whole time. There's always been kind of a cubby back there. So, yeah. Now we have all this extra floor space because there's no table jutting out into the middle of the floor. I think it's really nice.
I feel like we need an area rug.
You know,
a lot of space.
I'm not opposed to going to buy a new rug today.
That's it.
Well, if we go to Lowe's anyway, that's where our last area rug came from.
What are we going to Lowe's for?
The pieces to finish out the
never-ending
cabinet.
projects.
Alright, so this is what the hole looks like. So that's where that hole is where you normally would see the TV if the televator was down. So that's the televator mechanism back there. Just all sorts of cables and cords and stuff. There was a cover on this, but we took it off so that we could run the power for the fireplace. Yeah, and just never put it back. And then it's actually open on each side into the cabinet. So, which actually works really well because our power is running for the sound bar through there, and then the subwoofer is in that other cabinet. So then the subwoofer cord is just running right through there. So what we eventually want to do, maybe soon, maybe not, we don't know, is just put a bottom here, put a bottom and sides, and then make that a cubby, and then we're gonna get a smaller sound bar that actually fits in the cubby. So, yeah, we can at least put our remotes and things there. Right now they're going in and out of a drawer constantly, so I guess if we ever had I don't know, if we brought the Wii or an Xbox or something.
Yeah, we could really turn it into a component cabinet. Winnebago installed a component hookup in this drawer right here, which is...
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, here, let me show you. So we have a DVD player right here, but there's HDMI and a plug back here in the corner. I don't know if you can really see it.
No, too dark.
Back here. But, I mean,
we have easy access.
Yeah,
right
it kind of works out, but I mean, it's just weird. So you could definitely turn this into a component area, and there's a lot of room behind the fireplace that we lost. So the wheels are kind of turning on that one. We'll see what happens when we rebuild this for real.
Yeah, and what I want to do is actually paint what we're now going to call the entertainment center.
Yes.
And I want to paint this. I haven't decided yet. Maybe a blue color, maybe just a cream color. I really don't know.
Yeah.
And then our ultimate goal is to take this countertop out.
Yes.
And then replace it with...
Make it match your desk, which
Yeah.
is going to look really nice.
Yeah, so the desk and then the table that Josh made, and then that would all match, and then this would be a different color and just kind of like a piece of furniture instead of a built-in. So.
Yeah, another thing that I've been noticing is they use the same TV mount on this TV than they did the outside TV. So this TV can actually slide backwards probably 4 inches. So you would gain a lot more space on your countertop if that happened. So again, we'll have to kind of play with it and see what works best when we rebuild this whole thing.
All right, do you want to show us the dining table?
Sure. you're sitting on it. So we just have our little ottoman set up right here. That's what we've been using for a while. And just slide these out of the way. We have our new receptacles here that we just put in the floor. So we're keeping the legs and the table up here on top. Those just get twisted in. And then here's our dining room table. So here's that. That's super easy. We have these as seats, and then we also have the fold-out chairs that Winnebago gave us. So I don't know if it's going to be big enough to eat 6 people. Not eat 6 people, but for 6 people to eat. But we could definitely, play cards or have snacks or, throw out some chips and dip and watch a movie or something.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice because we can have extra workspace. So if I'm working from home at my desk and Josh wants to sit up, his laptop, and I don't know if he takes over video editing or something, and or just the two of us having dinner. We usually watch the news or TV or whatever, so it'll be really nice, and not just be sitting right in front of the TV like you were before.
But I think the great part with having the mounts already in the floor is that we can kind of do whatever we want with this area now. I'm going to make 2 smaller trays to pop on those same poles, so it could be kind of like a TV dinner type setup, or maybe like a little mobile workspace if you want to set up on the couch instead of sitting in the office here. So you're kind of, once you have the receptacles in the floor, you're kind of just open to whatever you want to put in here.
Yep. Do you want to show us what it looks like when you're sitting there?
Yeah, sure. So the TV's a little further out.
The table.
Or the table, sorry. The table's a little further out, but we have plenty of room to kind of just, if you're holding a plate, plenty of room to sit down. Yeah, it's pretty comfortable.